And so we have done so far a lot of things, and let's talk about page object design pattern. So in that page object design pattern, we know that there are different kind of uh, so yeah, let's go to the config main resources. No, test resources. Okay, so we have this property file, right? So in this page object design pattern, that we have to create different objects for different classes. For pages we have to create page objects, and then different test classes we have to create, right? So what are the advantages? One of the advantages is there's effective segregation, right? You can put the right things at the right place, right? It is very easy to uh, you know um manage this. So we have different test classes for each page. We have different tests categorized at the right place, and we have the locators and the methods of certain pages in that page class itself. So effective segregation. Then functional encapsulation. So we are basically uh, put following encapsulation and putting the methods and the locators at one place, right? Just like what encapsulation is supposed to do. And then we have scalability, right? The page object model is scalable because in future, if you have certain thing, right, more pages added, you can add that. Disadvantages: there is high setup time, right? There is a lot of time required to set up each page. Locators, write the locators, write the methods. And then there is ambiguity in implementation, because you don't know, like, all the you can't put certain elements on a certain page, right? So that kind of ambiguity is there. So here we have this orange HRM, right, where we are gonna automate stuff. So here we have the property called URL. So in the comments, always have this practice that, for example, you provide different values of this. For example, the QA environment can have this as UAT or something, right? UAT, and then you can also add prod, hyphen prod, right? This will help the manual testers to ensure that they can use this, right? Similarly, for the browser also, you can think of it like, for the browsers also, yeah, you can make it prod. So in future, if you have browser name, right, that also you can put browser, and then here in the hash you can put IE or Firefox, right? So that helps, right? So we that's not in the scope for now. We are just not gonna do that. Okay, so let's go create how I have created the page objects. So first of all, sometimes it happens that make sure that there is no gap over here, right? Even if there is, then we need to handle it, since we are building a robust framework. So in the driver, yeah. So here where we're getting the property, right? Here we're getting the property get URL, right? In the driver manager, we're putting it. Sorry, in the properties file. Where is the properties file? Where we are reading the properties. So that's where we want to do the implementation. So here we are just loading it, right? Pop.load file, and then we are putting it into the hash map using this for loop. So here is string dot. So we are trying to trim it, right? We need to trim it. So if there is a space added there, right? So we can trim it. I mean, uh, yeah, this is used to trim the spaces, right? So even if we have put, I think it should not fail in our case. Let's try. Okay, we can try later. So the purpose here is that we are trying to automate this orange HRM, right? Orange HRM. You can try the open source one. and here we have this home page. So whatever the home page elements are there, so that has to be defined. So first of all, we created this home page, right? In the home page we have these elements. So we're using private. We first create a class called hrm home page, and then we kind of write. So even before that, you can write a orange hrm test, create a test class here, and then here you can declare it as final because I don't want someone to extend it, although it extends base test, and then create a private so that no one can create private constructor to no one can create object of this test ng annotation at the rate test, and then we are creating, then we need login page and all those pages, right? For that, now we go to creating a login page. So in login page we have three elements, 1 2 3, right, that we want to interact with. For this one, username text box, username, password, and login button, that I have done private final. We are declaring them as private because we wanted them to be used in this class only. And then we are using by text box is equal to by.name, by.xpath, by.xpath, okay. And then we are writing public void. This was void initially, enter username. Here we are passing the username, and then driver dot get driver find element, then we are entering this dot send keys username. Make sure you're just parameterizing whatever you're adding here, and then you are just returning this means this class instance, right? You can also write this as, you know, something like new from dev. It works. I mean, it's fine if you write. See, this is also fine. We are return because what why we are doing this is because this is the both things are same. Because this while you are entering, it is on this action, it is on this page only, right? While performing this action, and then enter password is like this, right? So I will explain you this more. How can I explain this more? Is like, um, you can think of there's a concept in this. So you know that driver dot use, right? Hey, just a second. Driver dot get driver manager. Is it manager? Yeah. Dot get driver dot manage. Now you see that this is a method, right? This is a abstract. It's an interface, right? It returns an optional interface, but it's a method, right? Manages a method. So, but how is it showing all these things, right? From the options class, it's showing this method, method after method, how we are doing. So here we can see that WebDriver, if we go to WebDriver, right, go to its implementation, it's an interface. So it will have this method, right, manage. So if you go to manage, so yeah, this manage, okay. We can instead go to remote WebDriver. So we go to remote WebDriver, right? Go to its open declaration. So it implements the WebDriver interface. So it will have the manage method, right? So let's go to the manage method. Is it there or not? Yeah. So here you can see that, see, it is returning remote WebDriver options. It's an abstract class. So how is it going? So all these methods that are there in this class are being accessed, right? You can access add cookie, delete cookies name, delete cookie, delete all cookies, right? This is there. So similarly in this test, right, while we are creating this class, right, this class we created. So just remember this concept because this is called method chaining. One after another you can call the next method, right? Here we are doing it. So similarly, while we're creating this object class, page class object, so we are returning this because this means that it is returning this method only. So if it will return this WebDriver instance, we can call these methods again, right? So that's why we're returning this, and then we enter password. Initially we can realize void, and when you write this, it would automatically ask you. So for example, if I do a void, and if I do this, see, it will say one because it is returning this class only, this instance only. Okay, this of this type instance will be returned. And again we are passing password, return this, and then while you log in, when you do this action, you will get home page, right? So that's why I've declared this home page, created home page class. So here we have different kind of methods, so we can log in, right? Okay, here I want to click this, right? I want to click this. So this returns me a orange HM login page. So we are on the login page, right? On the login page, so we want to click profile menu, this one, right? So here I've declared all the elements are there, and then we want to log out, right? So click profile menu, what will it return? It will return this page only because there's no page change. So return this will be there. Again click about, does it change the page? No, it doesn't. So that's why it will be return this. So public orange login page, click logout. Once you click on logout, it will take you to the login page. So that's why we return new login HRM page. Okay, so this we are doing, and then we go to the test, then we just write the object, create an object of this login page, then we do the actions, enter username dot, you can see that, right? And if I just write this down, I mean you can do it like this also, that you create this object again, home page object, right? Once you have accessed this, you can you can write olp.enter name, olp.enter password, olp.login. So this would be too much of that, right? So to avoid that, we are doing this, right? Now till login we did, right? Why? Because here it's returning login page, we can't use any more methods. So here we have equated it to login home page, because this login is returning the home page after login. So that's why now from the home page we can access the elements. I click the profile menu. While we click the profile menu, click profile menu, while we click, it returns us this only. That's why we can access more methods, right? So it's like one instance variable is returned, each method is returning the instance variable of that class. So that's why we can access it. So right, so we will just run this test. So I have not used implicit wait in this case. We are currently learning the framework, so this won't need as such. But we can see that it passed. Right? It failed due to some reason. Why did it fail? Need to see. No such element. Unable to locate element. Yeah, there is some issue. It was running fine initially. Uh, but if it failed at username, then how did it log in? That's my question. Because I think I did some change maybe in the, which line did it fail? No such element found, exception. RHRM test, login test, login logout test. Okay, new instance with caller. Yeah, if it is not able to log in, then yeah, okay. I added this. Oh, I'm bad. My bad. So that's why I was thinking, why is it failing? So now it should pass. So using method chaining, we can write fluently and write better code, right? So that's why um, it's there. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Do like.